Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. This is a very quick video. I've had a few subscribers ask in the comment sections where I get my silver from, my silver and or gold from. And I wanted to go ahead and make a quick video to let you guys know who I've dealt with before as far as a company and where I normally get my precious metals when I do get some. So normally I recommend, and before I say anything else, let me let you all know, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm not endorsed by any of these companies. I have a favorite out of the ones I'm going to go over real quick. I have a favorite because I've used them in the past and I've had very good results with them, and I've been very satisfied with their customer service. And the company that I'm going to promote out of the three that I'm going to show you does something that I don't think the other two do, that I think is very good. So having said that, I like to get my precious metals from local coin shops. So wherever you live, get on the internet and search and see if you can find a local coin shop that deals with precious metals, that not only sells but buys them as well. Okay, and every coin shop I've ever been to do both. They sell and they buy. Okay, and the reason I recommend this is because a couple of things. Number one, you're keeping the money that you spend in your community, okay, instead of sending it off to a company that's, you know, hundreds of miles, if not thousands of miles away from where you live. Okay, so you're keeping the capital that you've invested in your community, or that you've used to preserve your wealth in your community, which is a good thing. Okay, number two, when you go to a local coin shop and you get to know the people that run it, you get to build a relationship with the people that run that shop. So if you're there on a frequent basis, like for example, I probably go to my coin shop once a month, and even if I'm only going to buy a few dimes, or if I'm going to buy a 10th ounce of gold and a few ounces of silver, I'll go probably once a month. And the guys there, they pretty much already know me, and we've built a relationship. And I've done both with them. I've bought from them and I've sold to them. And the reason for selling to them was kind of a practice run for me, because I'd never really sold any precious metals, but I wanted to see what it was like selling to them, to see if they treated me well. And they treated me very well where I go. The coin shop that I go to here in Fairbanks is called Alaska Rare Coins, and they are very honest guys there. They have very good selection, and they treat their customers very well. So whenever I go, or when I went and sold them some of my bullion, they paid me spot for it. Okay, so a lot of shops will pay you less than spot for what you're selling, and these guys pay you spot. So to me, that's a good thing. Okay, build a relationship, get to trust them, and they get to trust you. That way, one day if you do come in to sell them a bunch of metals, they'll trust you enough that they'll want to do business with you. Okay, and even if they're getting flooded, they may put you ahead of the line before other people, because they already know that you're a trustworthy individual and that you do business with them on a regular basis. Okay, so that's why I recommend for people to shop at a coin shop near where they live. Okay, now the only other company that I've used to purchase any precious metals was this company right here, Provident Metals. Okay, they're the only other company that I've used to purchase precious metals in the past. My experience with them has been outstanding. I've never had a problem receiving my purchases. There was one time where there was a delay because the demand was so high that it took like 3 weeks for me to receive my purchase, but I did receive it. I called them about a week and a half, 2 weeks after I made the order, and to ask them where my purchase was, and they said that they were a little behind, but that my purchase had been shipped out, and no doubt a few days later I received my purchase in the mail. Okay, when they mail you your purchase, is in a container that does not identify it as being, precious metals. Okay? And one thing that Provident Metals does that I really like is, if you are a military veteran, and I'm not sure if they do this for like law enforcement officers or first responders as well. You may want to call them and ask. But I know that if you're a military veteran, what they do for you is they will sell you the precious metals at their lowest cost. So for example, let me go ahead and take you guys to a American Silver Eagle. Okay, that way I can give you an example of what they do for veterans, which I think is pretty darn nice of them to do. Okay, so let's say that you're wanting to buy a Silver Eagle. Okay, they will sell you the Silver Eagle at their lowest price. So here, if you're paying with a credit card, if you're only buying one, you're going to pay right now $18.88 for that Silver Eagle. Okay, if you're buying more than 500 or 500 and more with a credit card, you're going to pay $17.94. That's the lowest price you can pay if you're buying with a credit card. If you're buying, they even accept Bitcoin if you have Bitcoin. If you're buying Bitcoin, you're going to end up paying about 56, 57 cents less, all right, per ounce. And if you buy 500 or more, you're going to end up paying $17.41. Same thing with cash, is a little less. You get a better deal. So what they're saying is that if you're a military veteran, that if you're going to buy an ounce of silver with a credit card, you're going to pay the lowest price that you can pay with a credit card, which is $17.95. As far as I'm concerned, that's a heck of a bargain. Okay, so if you end up buying 20 or more, you're going to end up paying $17.40. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. You're going to end up paying $17.95 no matter how many you buy, which is a lot lower than $18.89. It's almost $1 less. So for every 20 coins that you buy, you're actually getting one for free. All right, and the only thing you have to do is provide them with proof that you are a veteran or that you are active duty. Okay, and if you give them a call or email them, they'll get back to you really quick. I emailed them, and the next day I already had an email back from them explaining to me that all you need for proof is a certified copy of your DD-214 or a copy of the front and back of your military ID or retired ID. Okay, and that's all that you need to do to purchase from them. And if you purchase from these guys, $99, if your order comes out to be $99 or more, the shipping is free. Okay, so I recommend this company because I've dealt with them. They have great customer service. I did go on the what do you call it, Better Business Bureau site for these guys, and there were a couple of issues when I looked at it, and the issues had to do with some of the purchases getting lost in the mail. However, when I read down to each issue, every single issue ended with that the company ended up replacing the metals at no cost to the customer, and that the customer was eventually satisfied. So, I mean, if something gets lost in the mail, that's really out of the company's hand. But what stood out to me is that they actually stepped up, and at a loss to them, they ended up replacing the purchase and resending it to the customer. Okay, because these are insured, but I think they're only insured to the basic $100 that the USPS insures a package to. Okay, so they ended up making the customers whole on every situation that I saw where the package got lost in the mail. Okay, so I recommend these guys. They're my number one pick as far as going on the internet. But my real number one pick is a local coin shop. Okay, so there's a couple other ones that I've heard of, that I've heard advertised, that I've looked into, that look like they're pretty good companies. And the other one is JM Bullion. All right, and the other one is, just a second, is AppMax. Okay, so these other companies that I've looked at, they are also pretty reputable companies to deal with. Okay, so let me take a real quick minute to talk about the price of silver. If any one of you follows silver right now, you'll be like, wow, look at the price of silver. Look at right at the bottom of the page. Right now, the spot price for silver is $14.84. and yesterday it was as low as 1452. So what makes the price of silver and the price of gold go up and down? There's a few things, but right now what I can see that's making the price of silver and gold go up and down is the strength of the US dollar. So you can see that since yesterday, the US dollar has gone down by about 26 basis points. Okay, so 0.26% or 0.28%, which equals to 26 basis points. Okay, it went down. And you will notice that usually whenever the value of the dollar goes down, you will see that the price of silver and gold goes up. So as you can see here, it's gone up since yesterday, because the value of the dollar since yesterday has gone down. Now that's how it normally works. There's been a few instances where I've seen the value of the dollar and the price of precious metals go up at the same time. Okay, but those are very few and in between. I haven't seen that very often, but I have seen it a couple of times. So whenever you see, if you follow the dollar index spot, if you see that the dollar index spot is going up, then more than likely you will notice that the price of silver is going down, and vice versa. So what do I think about the price of silver right now? I think it's awesome. I almost hope that the price of silver and gold drop another 10-20%. Okay, I personally feel that since the Federal Reserve note is the reserve currency of the world right now, even though it's dwindling down little by little as far as how many countries are using the Federal Reserve note, I feel that since it's the world reserve currency right now, that all of these countries that are having problems, they're going to go ahead and go to the dollar. So like for example, Turkey in the last couple of days has been having really big problems with their currency. I think it's the lira. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But they've been having big problems with their currency. And what are the Turkish running to? They're running to two things. They're running to gold and silver, and they're running to the US dollar. All right? So this makes the dollar stronger. Now why, if the dollar is a fiat currency, does it get stronger when other countries are doing bad and their currencies are doing bad and being devalued? Well, the reason is because I say that the dollar, if you compare it to a dirty shirt, is the cleanest dirty shirt in the hamper. All right? So the dollar is the best fiat out of all of the bad fiats there are, because all fiat currencies are bad. All right? They're immoral, they're unjust, all right? They're not worth anything. Their intrinsic value is pretty much zero, or if you can equate it to whatever it costs for that piece of paper and ink that got printed on that piece of paper, that's what it's actually worth, which is almost nothing. Okay? So the dollar is the cleanest dirty shirt in the hamper as far as I'm concerned. That's why the dollar is so strong, because all of the other currencies around the world, or almost all, are weaker than the dollar. There's a, oh, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, my brother trying to chime in. So like I said, that's why the dollar seems so strong right now. In my opinion, and I'm not an economist, but in my opinion, just from a layman's point of view, I see that the dollar will continue to get stronger as all of these other countries have issues with their currencies. And I see that the price of silver and gold and precious metals and commodities as a whole will probably go down a little as well for us here in the U.S. So I feel that during these times when the dollar is gaining strength is when we should take advantage of purchasing precious metals. Now I'm going to hold off a bit. I actually think that in the next several months that the price of silver and gold may go down a little bit more before it really goes up. I think that within the next 2 to 5 years, if you're holding silver and gold, you're going to be very happy that you purchase some wealth insurance to get you through to the other side when our financial system finally has to either be reset or is defaulted on by an actual default or by actual money printing, which will lead to exorbitant inflation rates. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Having said that, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, there's a quick video. Thank you very much for joining me. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and share. this here is pretty important that you share this kind of stuff, because these kind of videos right here talking about wealth preservation, if you share this kind of video and show it to someone else, it may wake them up. It may be the thing that wakes them up, not only to preserving their wealth, but to prepping as well. Okay, having said that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.